When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU.
Let's see here. I got something on this thing. I don't know how to get off. How do I get rid of this? Let's see what I can do. Ha! There I go. I might as well go on and start trouble early. What's happening? What's happening today is March the 5th. It is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is Random Thoughts with DVP. Y'all know who I am, and my man Mogul over there. He was here last week, so don't blame him. It was me. I was caught in between and betwixt stuff. I couldn't get everything situated. But we here today. And I'm still on call, but you know, I done told the people don't die while I'm on the air. So we got a little moratorium going.
Nice.
So I got a lot of shit to say. Mom, you got your, you know what, Mom, I'm gonna have to buy you a present. Can't be Christmas, I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm gonna buy you a referee shirt. So you can, throw me a red card or eject me. You know what I'm saying? When I ain't acting right.
No, I need a bell, like the bullpen. Ding, and let you go at it, man.
That might get me started. So you know what I'm saying? You just gotta throw a red card on or something like that. I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna just call foul on DVP if you get out of order.
Now don't call. Hey, I'm gonna be running from the law just like them. So don't call. That's what I got you for. All right. So this week, it's just this 5th of March. This month has been interesting. So I got several topics. I'm trying to
You know where we at. You know where we at.
So, I'm all right. Let me just start off with social media. Ladies and gentlemen, social media is what it is. And there are rules to the game. I know y'all didn't read it because y'all keep posting this dumbass thing every year that social media is going to start showing your stuff and you don't grant them permission, which is stupid as fuck because, one, y'all don't never say which attorney told you this. Y'all can't never show which news media you heard this on. But you putting that up there don't mean shit. Remember when you sign, if you make it so I can steal your damn picture. So I don't know who keep telling y'all, and every year y'all do this shit. Y'all dumber than 2 boxes of rocks. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. I don't give them permission. Every time somebody say that, I just snatch a picture and share my damn self and tag them. See, you can't stop shit and you can't sue me. So guess what Facebook got the right to do? And then y'all be like, oh yeah, I don't like to talk on inbox. Facebook be monitoring us. Who you? Who you? You don't vote. You ain't got no money. You ain't got shit. What they monitoring you for? What they monitoring you for? If you was worried about that, you wouldn't even be on social media. If you was that big, trust me. But anyway, Mo got a page. Mo got because he on here, so that means he got his own page. DVP got a page. DVP actually got several pages, but everybody on Facebook pretty much got their own personal page. And these are the rules of the game for you nitwits and ninnies who don't understand it. All right, see, Facebook has this thing where people can send you friend requests. If you accept the friend request, then they can see whatever you post unless you, it's another way you can post and tag for them not to be seen, but y'all ain't gonna go through all that. If you make your page public, they can follow you and not be your friends, and they can still see a lot of what you post. So understand when you post something on social media, if you don't want people to comment on it, don't post it or exclude everybody who you know don't agree with you. See, social media, when you post something, don't matter what it is, this is what people got the right to do. They got the right to be assholes. They got the right to agree. They got the right to disagree. And this is what I want y'all to remember, ladies and gentlemen. They got the right to scroll the fuck on. So, but what you don't have the right to do is to come on my page and tell me what I should be doing. What you don't have the right to do is try to change my narrative. See, if I want to talk about peanut butter and jelly, I don't give a shit how you feel about ham and mayonnaise. My page is about peanut butter and jelly. On your page, talk about ham and mayonnaise. Oh, but don't nobody talk back on your page. I got 60 people talking about peanut butter and jelly. Is you mad? That's not my fault. So anybody who has interacted with me understand the rules of the game. On my page, I will post some things. Then, like church, even though I'm a heathen, the doors are wide open for conversation. And I usually won't post what I think because I don't want people agreeing with me simply because they agree with me. I want to know the different perspectives, good, bad, or indifferent. And then we can talk about it. But then I get to see what y'all think without saying I agree with you.
Yeah. Let me add something to that. Because
go ahead, jump on in there, bro.
I think people don't really appreciate the conversation because we won't have to agree. This is what and I'm more like DVP in this sense. Is we don't have to agree. Let's have a conversation, but don't try to. Because listen, I'll just be straight with you. I'm not religious. I don't follow religion, but I got a lot of people in my neighborhood and run up to me. What church you go to? I had a girl say, "What church you go to?" I said, "I don't go to church." She looked at me like she clutched her pearls, man, and she was, right. And I said, and the whole thing was, I have reasons, and maybe I'm Muslim, you know what I mean? So she was thinking American church, but the point is that everybody got different preferences, everybody got their own personal reasons. So to get on a social page and have an argument sounds kind of foolish because guess what? You come from Kentucky. Maybe things are done a certain way in Kentucky. I come from Wisconsin. Maybe things are done a certain way in Wisconsin. So what's the right way? Right? Nobody can say. Nobody can say. It's and that's the thing. It's like just being able to acknowledge the differences and have a conversation. Because I look, if I sat here and said, DVP, man, you ain't treating your woman right. I don't know what DVP woman want. Maybe that's what she told him. She said, look, this is what I like. You know what I mean? So I can't, there's boundaries, folks. So just pay attention to your boundaries. It's great to have conversation. It's great to go back and forth. Like I like debates, I like discussions, but when they get out of hand, I'm checking out.
Right. Share your opinions. Let me share mine. If I ask you a question, see, this is I know when the conversation is going left, and I'm getting into, my friend taught me a new word, negativity. See, when I ask you a question, if your response is something derogatory, that means you don't have an answer. So you're stupid. You just want people to follow you blindly because you suggested something and it's dumb. Or either I don't understand. So explain it to me. See, and Mo always get a perfect example of somebody breaking in the house. And I said that my wife is a better shot than me. I'm going to let her shoot. See? Oh, a real man. Hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Ain't no shame. But you can't tell me how to do it. We can talk about the merits of why or why not. But what I do in my household that works for me has no bearing on you. At the end of the day, if we're going to have an exchange, that's how most of the people who've been on this show, we've had what you guys would call a negative exchange. Well, we didn't agree. We just didn't get the name calling. We got to the information sharing page, commonly known as dialogue. You teach me something, I'm going to teach you something. But this is how we learn about other people. And see, this is, and I tell people, this is what makes me different from most of the rest of y'all. I was a cop. I was in the military. So I spent the bulk of my life around people not of my choosing. Most of y'all hang around people you choose, so you only know people in your circle. I was way out my circle often. So I can tell you a true landscape of what I've seen. It still don't mean it can answer for everybody. But when I say certain things are just factual, whether you like them or not. See, me and Mo can sit here and we can joke about who got the prettiest wife. See, that's an opinion. Straight opinion. We can sit here and debate who's the best quarterback of all time. Opinions. But when I say that Donald Trump is the president, that's not an opinion. When you say he ain't my president, you sound stupid. Because whether you like him or not, if your ass is in Arizona, Alabama, California, the president of these United States, whether you like him or not, is the idiot. So for you to say, oh, he ain't my president, I ain't vote for him, that's not how this works. I already know I can't have a conversation with you because you're dumb. And I'm going to give you a frosted mug of shut the fuck up because we're not having an intelligent debate. When I ask a question, as we veer into the next subject about boycotting. Because
wait. Before you go there,
yes,
I want to add one more thing before you go there. So on this last subject here, what I want to point out is that a lot of so I was at a point in my life where I thought I knew it all. I ain't gonna listen to nobody else, this or that. Kind of knucklehead, hard-headish. I think all of us men go through that phase. Except for DVP, he ain't go through that. Did you, DVP?
I'm still going through it.
yeah. So we all go through that phase, right? But what I want to say is that I learned this from, and this guy's a certified genius, and I just sometimes you just listen to stuff sometime, and I like to listen to stuff, marinate on it, evaluate it, and see if it's something I want to adopt. And I heard one of these genius type guys. He said I don't read books that I'm just interested in. He said I'll read anything, and I'm sitting here like, this dude crazy, man. Something wrong with this cat. He said he explained it. He said the reason why I read anything is because I like to hear I like to understand why something is the way it is. I like to understand a different viewpoint, different opinions on a particular subject. And it's not, I don't want to read the book just to find out. And I also like to read the book to find out if I'm right or wrong about my position on something. So my point is, new information is good. And when you have, debates, like I learned stuff from DVP, you know what I mean? I asked him some questions. He told me some stuff, and I marinated on it, and I was like, well, that makes sense. I need to start thinking that way. And you can have the opposite effect too. A lot of the people I grew up with, you ask them a question, they tell you something, and you're like, that's the stupidest, man, go ahead, go about your business. You know what I mean? And so I have them both, but the idea is I don't shut either one down though, because this is my process. Everybody probably got their own process, but my process is, if you want to say something, as long as you don't take too much of my time, if you want to say something and it's wrong, I'll let you go ahead and say it. Even though I don't know if it's wrong at the moment, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say what you got to say. I'm going to go back later and think about it and see if there's any merit to it, if it makes sense. I'm not going to immediately just discount it, because I could be the one missing something. So what I'll do is I'll go think about it, and then I'll make my own decision, whether I want to throw it away or keep it as part of the new way I think.
Another tool on the tool belt.
Yep. And so that's my process, So I'll listen. Like I said, I'll listen to an argument, and I think it's for the better in most cases. I mean, and then you'll get to a point though. You'll get to a point. I know DVP there. I know I'm there, but you'll get to a point where you don't have to listen to the whole thing. First few words, you be like, yeah, this is some garbage. I don't need to. You go ahead and take that over there. We don't need to finish that. But initially, when I call it information collecting. You know what I mean? That's just how you get more intellect. But I call it information collecting. When you in the information collecting phase, just take it all in. That don't mean you got to agree with it, right? Take it all in, sift through it, filter it, and then establish your own ideas and thoughts on it. That's my process. But people probably use different processes.
And I'm gonna help y'all out. Sometimes we hear shit that makes sense. We still ain't gonna do it because we don't like it. It's okay. But acknowledge the fact that it makes sense. You just don't want to do it. See, my dad taught me, my mom and my dad taught me 2 bad habits in life, and I live by them. My mama said, rule number 1 in life, if you ain't got to live, sleep, or eat with them, fuck them in their opinion. See, I live with that now. My dad has said, if they can't whoop your ass, they can't make you change your mind. I'm a fighter to my heart. So them the 2 things I live by most of the time. Oh, and he told me number 3. It ain't always about what's right. Sometimes you got to do what make you feel good. See, that's my main one. Because sometimes I know what I'm doing is wrong, but it's going to make me feel better. And in that moment, I just want to feel better. But when I ask people about this boycott, and it's funny because people are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm doing a lot of stuff, but clearly I ain't popping in your world. But I've talked about boycotts. I've talked about how to stop police brutality. I've talked about citizen review board, but I realize I ain't nobody. And more importantly, what I truly do realize is that when I give y'all something, it's an extended plan, because extended plans are the only ones that work. You don't have the patience or fortitude to go through with it, because again, I've done the research. This is why I got more here. More as a researcher. Most boycotts don't work. There's only 2 boycotts that we know of that have worked, and probably in our lifetime. One was the Montgomery bus boycott. 384 days, I think it was. See, they was there for the long haul. The only 24-hour boycott that has ever worked in the history of time is on Super Tuesday. When y'all don't vote, you get what you get. There is no going back. See, when y'all boycott voting, you get what you get. That's the only one that worked within 24 hours. But when you're going to boycott, and it's funny, I had this random asshole on my page because I'm like, why does it matter to you? Leave them people alone. Dude, why you on my page? I didn't say, I asked why. I want to know why they're boycotting, because boycott should happen for a reason. Mm-hmm. See, so Oh, see, you one of them. But we got to start with the first step. I said, see, that's y'all problem, because every time y'all take that first step and don't let that happen, y'all get pissed. But nothing is gonna happen. Nothing is going to happen. Oh, if we don't shop for one day, they gonna miss this money. I said, how old are you again? Are you over 3? So if you're over 3, you remember COVID. If a business didn't shut down in COVID, you boycotting them for one day is not gonna shut them down.
Not at all.
Everybody lost money during COVID.
Yep.
Target and Walmart didn't go no fucking place. Kroger didn't go no place. So you think if you don't shop for one day, and this is what I try to get people to understand. Most of us who shop, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. You got your pen and pad, because I'm gonna put this on a page tomorrow.
Go ahead.
How often, and we're gonna do this, how often during the course of a week do you go inside the store to shop?
0.
So he can't boycott because he already don't do shit. But we're gonna expand it for him during the course of a month. How many stores do? And I'm gonna help him out. How many stores do either you or your wife go to the shop during the course of 30 days?
And you saying physical, right? Not online, physical. Yeah, 0. Yeah, like okay. I'll say this, because I do go sometime to pick up food. So I say in the course of a month, probably like 4 times.
4 times, and we're gonna throw gas in there. So that's 3-4 more times.
Yep.
Do you always get gas from the same place?
Pretty much.
Do you always get food from the same place?
Pretty much.
So there's a consistency there. So they might miss him them 3 or 4 times a month. I doubt it. So when y'all boycotting Walmart for one day, most of y'all don't go to Walmart every fucking day. So they're not gonna miss you. Most of y'all don't go every week.
DVP, man, I can't take it no more, man. Listen, there's no such thing as a one-day boycott. That's not a boycott.
Voting.
That's not a boycott, man. It's a one day. It's a sit-in. That's a damn sit-in, man. That's not a boycott. Okay.
But when you ask them why stop the madness? We got to start somewhere. Okay, Mo, here go another trick question for you. Knock on wood. I don't wish nothing bad on you. But if your house caught on fire, we talking about in full flames. If your next door neighbor come over there with a cup of water because he doing something, are you gonna receive that shit? You gonna receive that in the spirit that he meant to give it in? Hell no. It's a cup of fucking water. They ain't gonna do nothing for a flame.
He might get smacked, man. Tell you the truth.
When y'all got these one-day boycotts because we got to start somewhere, you're stupid. You might as well not waste your time, because of a boycott, it's to get a result. When you don't get a result, see, that's why people don't like diets, because to have a true diet for a regular person, it's going to take you 10 days before you start seeing any type of results. The same thing with working out, because when you first started dieting, your body trying to say, what the hell going on? Because it's learned how you eat. It ain't cooperating. You got to train your body, your metabolism to think differently. So when we're going to do these things, because I'm looking, I buy gas probably once a week. That's it. Sometimes I buy from Kroger. Sometimes I buy from Marathon. Sometimes I buy from Racetrack. So I ain't even consistent shop at none of them. So technically, I'm boycotting them 25 days a month anyway.
Yeah.
I do bulk shopping at Sam's. So, and if you shop at Sam's, you probably ain't shopping but once a month. No way, hell, Sam's sells shit in bulk. So for 28 days, I ain't even dealing with them. So when y'all be saying y'all gonna boycott somebody, and I done asked a few other people, ain't none of y'all going nowhere every day. So to act like all of a sudden you boycotting, you're stupid. But guess where y'all at every day? Y'all on Facebook. You gonna boycott that though? Oh, I ain't gonna be here for 24 hours. Stay out for a month. But tell me why you're doing it. See, again, I did a little research. Next year, I want to boycott Target because they changed their policies. I hear you. Again, I'm gonna use Mo, because Mo already used to these trick questions. Mo, if you got a government contract, or if you had a business where you could get a government contract worth millions of dollars on a regular basis, and they wanted you to change your paperwork to keep the contract, would you change your paperwork?
Like my contract paperwork.
Yeah. Would you change your policy that says we promote the hiring of transgender blacks and yada yada yada? Would you change the paperwork?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when I ask these people, yeah, Target changed their paperwork, but they still selling black stuff. You can't tell me nobody who's been fired, nobody who's been removed, they changed their paperwork so they can keep the money coming in. Y'all act like y'all don't understand survival.
Absolutely.
Y'all act like y'all don't understand it. See, let me put this into y'all into a real world kind of way. Fellas, ladies, you get into a relationship. There's a picture that you don't like that your significant other has of an ex that he's still fond of. They still friends. You tell them to get rid of that picture. I am willing to bet you they don't destroy the picture. They just move it out of your sight. Because just in case shit don't work out with you, I bet that picture pop back up in 2-3 days. But nothing changed in your relationship. They just moved the picture. Nothing has changed with Target other than they changed the policy so they can still sell stuff to the government. Because the government, even though they don't shop that off, when they do shop, they spending millions of dollars buying whatever it is they buy from them. But y'all mad at Target, who has a diverse board, and it's still there. They didn't fire nobody. They just stopped putting it out there. So what are we mad about again? See, and the guy gonna say, well, so you don't get it. If they stop shopping, if nobody bought turkeys and honey baked ham the day before Thanksgiving, they'll go out of business. I said, you realize there's other places you can get honey baked hams. Everybody don't go to honey baked hams to get turkeys and stuff, no way. So if you stop shopping for one day, it's gonna hurt them. But you nigglets told everybody either by the day before or the day after. So instead of getting $1,000 on Thursday, I'm gonna get $25,000. I don't get nothing on Friday. Or I'm gonna get $25,000. So what did I lose again? Mo, me and you both married. I'm sure we've both been in the doghouse. I'm positive we've both been in the doghouse. And whether I'm gonna even act like we bosses now because ain't nobody around us. Our spouses have been in the doghouse. Either way, we had a silent shit going on. It might have lasted 24 hours. But guess what happened? Nothing. At hour 25, or I'm gonna say this because ain't nobody there. Oh, here come the fugitive. When we ready to talk, all we gotta do is say, babe, are you hungry? That solve everything. They don't work on fellas, ladies. But when we in trouble, all we gotta do is offer y'all some food, especially if we know what y'all like. You like lasagna, I can throw it at you. That's gonna open the door right back up. Don't nobody care about no 24-hour boycott. If you're trying to make a difference, make a difference. Make a difference. Oh, I'm gonna go on a one. Weightlifters is the only people that change for weightlifters and boxers and stuff, and that's because they do so much fluid stuff. They weigh in 3 days before. If they overweight by a few pounds, they just go on a water diet so they can pee all that weight off. That's it. But you boycotting shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stick to the plan, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad I got Theo here because I wanted him for this because he's the political specialist of the group. If you don't have a plan that includes the disenfranchised people, the poor, it is not gonna work. So when you want to boycott Walmart, because that's y'all love to keep picking at Walmart. Go into a Walmart, even in the white neighborhoods, it's mostly black people. Walmart is one of the few places that usually hires from the neighborhood. Most of the people who work at Walmart live in the neighborhood. So when you want to boycott Walmart, all these senior citizens, all these kids who working at about their class ring, go on their class trip, they're the ones who lose their job first. Ain't nobody in management losing shit. Ain't nobody at the board of directors losing shit. So when y'all gonna boycott, what y'all saying? And all three of us done lived in the hood, if I'm not mistaken. You know what's expensive? That fucking corner store.
Oh God!
See, a loaf of bread at Walmart is $1.85. At the corner store, it's $2.57.
Yeah, you might as well go out to dinner, man. Go out to a restaurant. Right. You know what I mean? Because
I'm sorry. Welcome to the show, Theo. Nigga, here a little early. I'm impressed. So it's probably police car running around the neighborhood somewhere looking for a suspicious looking brother with some sweat beads on him. I ain't gonna say that, no. But and I'm trying to understand this because I want to participate. It just needs to make sense. And I know we have to look out for the people who don't make enough money to support it because they have to work. They need any double D. They need the money. See, so we sitting here living house to house. I ain't gonna support Walmart. Who you hurting? Walmart built for losses. They survived COVID. They are built for losses. And they still, either one of y'all got a business?
Not now.
Okay, I have a business. And if we're honest, I want y'all to think about y'all small businesses. I got to put you on the spot in a minute, Theo, since you're late. When you ran a small business, who were most of your employees?
I'm early, actually.
Huh?
Oh, it was me. It was me.
So did you have any other employees?
No.
What about
That's
you,
more
Mo?
self-employed is the better word. Self-employed.
Yeah, no, we had people working for us.
How many?
It was a small business, probably like 4.
How many of them were family?
0.
Close friends?
0.
Okay, so in mine, I got 6. They either related to me or they close friends.
Oh,
If I'm
okay.
being honest, I'm not supporting the neighborhood. I'm supporting these 6 little people. Most
Yeah.
small businesses don't support the neighborhood. Most of them don't even do business in the neighborhood. They don't live in the neighborhood. They doing business. Mine is security, so I ain't gonna never be doing business with them because we doing security. But everybody who keeps saying, "Oh, that's why we gotta start our own businesses." But go to a nail shop. Go to a black nail shop. Don't just pick in. We're gonna do some research here. Go to a black nail shop and ask the owner where she lives. I guarantee you she don't live within 5 miles of her shop. She not taking the money that's coming from that hood and putting it back. And I know Theo should know this. How much money do we recirculate back in our own neighborhoods? I know this one. I should have asked you that so you would have been ready for it. But we do the worst job of recirculating money in our neighborhoods because most of us don't live in the neighborhood.
The black dollar is a myth.
Explain for them.
The idea of black spending power is a myth, and we have to. I start with this premise: capitalism is capitalism is capitalism, and no matter what color capitalism is, it will not save us. That being said, I do think that we still should have. We should still be exercising a muscle that allows us to organize at the drop of a dime, and we can't do that if we wait for the perfect circumstances to do it. The argument that you're making reminds me of when we had the George Floyd rebellion, and it hit Atlanta, and people were like, "Not Atlanta, not Atlanta," and to that I said, "Why not Atlanta? What makes Atlanta? What absolves Atlanta from the greater, kind of systemic issue of racism just because Atlanta has a veneer of black wealth? What absolves? Why do we have to consider a cashier when cashier jobs are pretty easy to come by? When we're talking about dismantling on some level a corporation, that's the corporation's job to figure out. If they want it, if they want it bad enough, they will figure it out. And if they don't want it bad enough, you will find another cashier job somewhere else. I don't believe that DEI is.
We ain't going there yet. We ain't going to DEI yet.
Okay. Well, I'm only speaking to why they're doing it, because if this is the reason that they're doing it, I do believe that there has to be we can't just we have to look at the policy and how much it impacts Black people to really decide if we're going to make this the rallying cry. But we also know the flip side of this is that DEI is used as a pejorative term towards Black people. So even though it doesn't benefit Black people, the policy itself, no, we're like number 5 on the list as far as who it benefits. But we all know that this is an anti-Black, this pushback on DEI is anti-Black at its core. And so the response that Black people are having to this is really a response that is number one. It's not necessarily rooted in target or even capitalism. It is rooted in the fact that we yet again are the whooping board, so to speak, for America. We represent all things wrong about America and all the things that people, that these Republicans and even some of the Democrats don't like about America. So it's a little bit more nuanced than I think it's being framed. I shot the target Sunday, so I'm not gonna sit up here and hold y'all like I
Hey, that's it. Hey, take him out, man. He gotta go. I
shot the target. I shot the target. Like but I'm also I get it though. I also donated to the organization that's leading the boycott.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that, Theo. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I just wanted to, so just to Theo's point. So look, here's the deal. I teach people how to invest in stocks, right? And so I could never say anything to you about you going to shop at Target because all of the companies, every single one of them that I invest in, exploit everything.
Yes,
they exploit and support everything, right? So now I'm supporting and exploiting everything, right? But I rationalize that. I got my own way of rationalizing it. But the point is that, I can't say anything to you because in this world, in this system, you're gonna be hard pressed to try to isolate yourself from the world's infrastructure to do anything.
Facts.
And see, this is why I wanted, because I know we're gonna agree on everything. And see, when I said what I said about doing it, and I'm gonna stick with it. When we mobilize so quickly, we don't have a plan, it becomes fruitless and people get distracted and they get frustrated. It's kind of like when you missed the beginning of the show. If your house is burning down and your neighbor, in an attempt to do something, comes over with a glass of water, you're not going to receive that because he did something. We got to quit thinking so small that it's going to do something, because all it does is frustrate the masses and it causes us to lie. Because, they lost out on $216 million. They felt it. And I'm going to stick to what I said. If COVID didn't shut them down, ain't no one boycott going to shut no real business down. So if we want to make something change, and I hate that they keep using Walmart because Al Sharpton tried to pimp us for Walmart. Black Lives Matter, them chicken heads tried to pimp us for Walmart because they wanted to show Walmart what kind of pull they had. And they like, they wanted to show what the pull they had over us. And I was like, go do your thing. If we're going to do it, we need a real reason. As I asked Mo before you got here, Target changed their policy, but who did they fire? Who got replaced on their board? All they did was take DE out of their wording, but they ain't changed nothing else. So if they ain't changed nothing, we're getting mad at them for still wanting to make money. And we ain't gonna support them because they changed something. How many times we done changed our mind about something, and we don't want to be held against that? So when they go up on prices, what's going on, Queen Allen? When they go up on prices, we're gonna blame them and forget that it's got to do with the tariffs. When the George Floyd thing came up, y'all know I've been outspoken about this whole police thing. There are ways to do it. We need to get a citizen review board. It's going to take a minute. Don't nobody want to spend 3 months trying to get this done. Remember one of the marches they had in downtown Atlanta? They had it on the weekend when they went to City Hall, and I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Ain't nobody there. But the organizer had to work Monday through Friday. So the organizers didn't want to give up no money to do it. They wanted to do it on their off day. And I was like, this is so trifling. You're going to boycott City Hall. You're going to boycott the courthouse on a Saturday. On a Saturday. What message are you sending? You're telling people, hey, we're stupid. We're stupid. We're going to prove that we ain't got shit to do except for the people who work on the weekends, which is who? The ones who don't have steady jobs. And every time we start trying to do something, if we're hurting them, they can't participate. I said, I shop at Sam's. It's cute. I can sit here and lie. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna boycott Sam's for a month because that's how long it's gonna take me to run out of shit. So when that money's up, I'm right back. I don't need to find clue online shopping. Walmart and Target, I'm sure they got hurt by Amazon, but we're not boycotting Amazon. And we know Jeff and Mark all them part of Team Trump now. But why we ain't boycott none of them? Because they got something we want.
Well,
we
the long term. Go ahead.
We're not gonna, let me say this. I'm gonna let you go.
Yes,
come December, when it's holiday season, I want to see what we're gonna do about these boycotts. Because we ain't gonna give up Christmas, because we can start doing Kwanzaa and make it black. Are we gonna boycott anything in November and December? Or we gonna come back to being shucking and jiving Negroes who only want to boycott when it's beneficial to us? And it's beneficial to us on a personal level, not on the grand scale rising schedule, which is what you want to do, which is what some of the other ones want to do. But you get caught up with these gamers who want to show they can get people to do anything, anytime. There's nothing lost by doing it yesterday or whenever they did it. It's got to be it. When you do Lent or Lent, and I ain't religious, but when you do those, you're giving up something that's supposed to be important to you, not just something. What are you giving up? What's the one where you're supposed to, like one year I gave up chocolate because I ate chocolate every day. You're supposed to be doing something that's important. To say, oh, I ain't gonna eat vegetables. Well, if I only eat vegetables twice a month, what have I given up? And that's what we keep doing, so we can say we did something. So, and you brought this up. You brought this up, Theo. So this your fault. We keep doing symbolic crap, and we keep getting screwed over because it's symbolic, but it ain't changing nothing. But we're saying, oh yeah, I participated. I got my sticker that says I voted. But I only voted for the trash collector. But I got a sticker that ain't gonna tell you all that. So when are we gonna start making our vote count? When are we gonna start making our boycott out? What's the lie we all tell? Man, time is money. You can't get time back. So if I'm gonna take my time out to boycott, let's make it. Let's make it worth something. What's the build-up plan? What's the build-up plan? Let's make it worth something. Let's not shop on the weekends. That's when they get their money. Let's not shop on the weekend. Wherever it is, we're gonna go. Did you freeze?
I'm here.
His metro kicking in.
No, that's you. That's you, DVP. I'm moving.
I'm moving too. You froze on my end.
Froze, DVP.
Well, all y'all froze on my end.
Just go like this. Just go like this and just keep talking.
He said go like this, like I can see him moving. Mo the only one I see moving. Okay, now y'all.
There you go.
You back.
But yeah, so look, when are we gonna do something that's substantial and stop doing? Theo,
did you know that the Montgomery bus boycott was only supposed to be one day?
No,
it was only supposed to be one day, and the reason that it lasted as long as it did was because they had to wait for the Supreme Court ruling to come down. I don't think that we make progress in our cynicism. Although I understand that the cynicism is justified, but I don't think we make progress in our cynicism. I think I would rather us be a slave to naivete and optimism than for us to be a slave to cynicism. And as an anarchist at my core, I want all this shit to burn down. And sometimes it got to be your shit too. Dick Gregory used to always say, used to make the kind of point that you're making right now, and he would say, we're all, actually Mo made the point, we're all participating in this system in some kind of way.
Right.
When we have a holiday off and we don't go to work anyway, we are participating in the system. When we don't withdraw our money from lending institutions that give subprime mortgages to overly qualified Black applicants, we are participants in the system, but we do what we can. We know that we're outnumbered, but you do what you can while you can for as long as you can until or maybe not you see the change that you want. And I don't look at it like I don't look at any effort to organize as a lost effort just because we don't see immediate results. But I will say this: one of the leaders of this boycott, Jamal Bryant, has already said that there's been talks between he and Target, and they tried to send a diversity person to meet with them. He said no, I want to meet with the CEO. I don't know how much of that is posturing. I hope that it's not, but I don't think that I don't think if it didn't do anything, if it didn't make any kind of dent, that they would even be trying to have a meeting with one of the people that are at the helm of it. And I'm proud of us. I'm proud of everybody who did do it. I think that it's considering how many fronts we have to fight on. We have to fight on every single front, and we were still able to not be given to despair after the election, and not suffering from outrage exhaustion, which I have been suffering from since like 2014, and still were able to organize, do something. So I think it's important for us to lean on history when we talk about these matters, because history is going to be the strongest indicator of what is possible. If we just stick to it. The bus boycott was not only was it only supposed to last one day. Dr. King didn't want to be a part of it. He didn't want to associate his name to it. There were established ministers that were in Montgomery who didn't want to get backlash from the white establishment in Montgomery, so they kind of propped this young man from Atlanta up to do it. They thought he was naive and pliable and all the things. And as history tell it was one of the most impactful protest movements in American history. So we're still cut from that cloth. Those are still our people. Like that's still the cloth that we're cut from. And there were people even during that time who were like, this is pointless, right? There were still people who didn't get on the bus. I mean, who did get on the bus rather, when everybody else was not getting on the bus, right? And we don't, history doesn't remember those people. That's okay. But what history does remember is that there was a period, in that period, Black folk organized, and they did it under far worse circumstances than we are right now. So, if anything, if nothing else, it's not going to kill us to skip a day. To your earlier point about, you only technically you boycott 25, you boycott, I guess, racetrack 25 days a month anyway. I'm kind of the same way when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm not like when the Gucci thing happened. I ain't never bought Gucci damn. I don't even like Gucci. I don't even like the colors. I think the designs are just like simple. I think it's just whatever. But I wouldn't tell anybody not to boycott Gucci. Do what you like. Do what speaks to you.
Exactly.
And if it doesn't speak to you, find something else that speaks to you and just do that. And to make most point, strategically now, to your point about the stocks, their stock has dropped $17 since this thing started. So strategically, Black folks need to be buying Target stock right now while it's low.
So let me add. So that's right, but let me quantify it, because there's a clarification that needs to be made, and this is the clarification that one particular stock, the way kind of stocks work in this case. So let's say we're not talking about a economic type issue, right? We're not talking about an economic type issue. All those companies, all these different companies, their value fluctuates based on the company itself. But now at this time, because of what we're talking about, all of the companies are moving at the same if they're losing value, they're all losing the same amount of value because it's all connected to the same event. But when it's not one of those, high level events, then everything moves separately. So right now is a good time to buy stock. Everything's low,
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we shouldn't do something, but it's like I said with the coming over my house while it's burning with a cup of water. We have to do something that's going to be more. We got to quit doing symbolic something, because that's when everybody keeps saying, see, no matter what we do, or everybody got this, you got to follow me mentality. And I've said it before. In that theory, back in the day, you either supported Martin or Malcolm because they wasn't aligned. And if you didn't support one, if they were alive in the 20th, whatever century this is, whichever one you supported for the other one, you'd be a buster, because we got to all be doing the same thing. And that's where we get so divided, because if we look at reality, it's white people who bringing Trump down, who trying to bring him down. There's nothing that requires all of everybody. And I say this all the time, and I'm going to stick to it. When it's time for us to rebuild, when it's time for us to start doing stuff and having these black communities, we can't take the niggas with us. They don't belong there. And if we keep trying to bring everybody along, we're going to keep losing shit, because they don't belong. Everybody don't belong. And until we make that distinction, one of the first things that got me back to doing this show, when I felt like I was losing people because everybody want to do this, a guy pulled me to the side. He said, do you understand what hospitals are and what they do? And I was like, yeah. He said, you got to operate like a hospital. And I was like, what does that mean? He said, you got to realize you can't save everybody. And until you accept that mentality, you're going to keep trying, and you're pushing to save people who don't. Some of these people don't want to be saved. They want to be stuck in their rut. So when people say, what are you doing? Yeah, because I'm trying to formulate plans. When Mo asks me questions about cops, when people ask me questions about this, I think about it. When I look at the bus boycott, one of the reasons it was successful was because they started carpooling. They got the taxi drivers. All the people who want to say, hey, 4 or 5 of y'all ride with him. That way he can still make his money. He's just making it over more people now. Because as opposed to somebody paying him $5, which is what it costs, we all gonna pay $2. So he taking 3, 4, 5, so he making more money. Because them people still had to go to work. They couldn't afford to boycott the bus, because they still had to work. They still got to feed their family. The people who are well off could say, yeah, we ain't gonna ride the bus. Yeah, we got a car anyway. I ain't riding. I ride more than 5 times a year. So when I want us to do something, I want us to do something that can make an impact, not for the haves, but it's got to be something that the have-nots can stand behind, and then we can generate some steam behind it. When I talked about the immediate changes when George Floyd started, every single department, because I know how policies work, they can change departmental policy in less than 24 hours. And it wasn't George Floyd. Who the ones that got killed in New Orleans? Then the on the neck maneuver is illegal.
Philando Castile.
Yeah, but and even with George Floyd, the chokehold is illegal. It's still on the books in Minnesota. They had this twice. And when we get these leaders who won't tell us that, this don't take no act of Congress. This take 100 people going up to the police department or the mayor's office and saying, change the policy so that it's illegal for these cops to do this. They don't need them just marching, because we marching, what are we asking for? If you don't ask, you come to my house all day long and boycott. What do you want? We want you to know we're here. Okay, I see y'all. But what the fuck do you want? So until you can tell me what you want, how can we affect change? The change can be there, but we got to ask for what I tell you before. What's our biggest issue? I got 3 issues. Phil, you got 3 issues. Mo got 3 issues. We can't agree on which issue should come first. So we got 9 issues, and everybody wants the issue. So we hit somebody with 9 issues. When in reality, if we hit them one at a time, we can build some steam. When we give them 9, whoever they pick first gonna feel slighted. But we got to sit around and come as a collective and say, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. Did you see this question that's being asked? Not sure how true this is, but an hour ago, people are posting on YouTube saying mortgages went up 50%. Any of y'all heard anything like that?
I've heard about it. I don't know. I don't know how closely linked it is to the Trumps.
Is it mortgage or rent?
No,
So
mortgage.
yeah, we would need. Yeah, it would be. Well, we need some clarification because that would have to be mortgage rates, not just the mortgage.
Mortgage,
The
right.
mortgage rates.
And that would still kind of have to be new because only thing that make your mortgage go up is your property value, and that ain't happening overnight.
And you already signed a contract. You ain't nothing moving.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Unless you got a variable rate mortgage.
But like I say, if your property tax go up, then it's gonna make your escrow and all that mess. But right. I can't. That one I don't understand. So
Queen Island.
If you could give us a little bit more information, because it sounds like, to me right now, it sounds like rent and people raising prices on rent, even though 50% is still crazy because you should have a contract.
Yeah, right.
But again, that's one of the things that is we become more knowledgeable and learn landlord-tenant laws. Some of these things we can avoid as opposed to going out and boycotting. Let's go change the system.
In fact, so DVP, let me just add to that because you lost your memory anyway. But I'm about to lose mine because I'm laughing.
The disrespect.
But yeah, I'm about to lose it, man. Let me see here. So I was just gonna say, yeah, with this, you're supposed to have first of all, you're supposed to have a written contract, and your mortgage is supposed to be, I'm gonna say fixed or variable, but it's in the sense that it cannot be modified, regardless of what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? So we need just a little bit more information so we can answer that question. It's not clear.
Unless you're doing one of them crazy month to month or week to week things, but that's what we need more information. And see, that's the thing to me. We could do so much more if we educate ourselves instead of following the masses, which is what I was upset about. Because if I'm asking, see, Theo broke down why some of the stuff is going on. If I ask you why we're doing this and you tell me, oh, you're going to be one of them, see, you already tell me you don't know why you're doing it. Remember what your mom used to ask you a long time ago? If everybody jump off the bridge, are you going to jump? That's a trick question. Is the bridge on fire? If the bridge is on fire, there's a good chance I'm going to jump. If it ain't on fire, am I just doing what the gang do? And we get caught up in that herd mentality, and I don't want people to get caught up into it. Because sometimes the best something you can do is not panic. You can regroup and then come back with a plan. That's true. And that's all I want us to do is have a plan for what it is we want. Because if they're going to acquiesce, when they ask us what they want, because it sounds like y'all just want Target to put the DEI stuff back in their policy. Is that all y'all want?
Yeah, that's crazy.
To me, what's the win? Who does that help if they just because they add the page back?
Well, so
like I say, did they fire their board? Did anybody on the directors get removed? Did anybody black or trans or women? Did anybody lose their job? And if not, then why are we picking Target? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Theo.
You saying Target is being targeted?
Say again?
Target is being targeted.
See, there you go. But, yeah, and I just want to know why. Hey, Adrian Crook, what are you saying is deep? Because we said a lot here, and I don't know how. It's crazy. I lost the show, disconnected, but everybody kept going on because I could see y'all on my phone. And that was the point I was making about my page. When you come on my page, and all I did was ask the questions. Don't tell me, oh, these people ain't hurting you. I ain't never said he was hurting me. I ask questions because if I don't understand, the only way to get knowledge is for somebody to explain. If your explanation is I'm this on that means you have no explanation. If your explanation is the one to call me out my name, that's funny, it's cute, but you still ain't explained shit to me. And the one something I'm gonna say about all this, and we're gonna move to something else. This is how I know you men are sensitive. Because the minute somebody don't agree with y'all, you want to call a name, and somebody call your name back. Oh, you a keyboard gangster. Are you really ready to fight over some Facebook shit? But we say women are emotional. You want to fight me over a Facebook post? And hold on, let me finish this because I'm finna issue my threat. For those y'all who think y'all want to fight me,
I'm about to say that's crazy.
I'm about that life. But understand, I do not fight over thought processes or you calling me names. I fight for money. So bring $200 and we will fight.
$200 about $200, man. That's gonna be my cut for setting up the fight. Hey, this is my cut.
I'm not fighting because, man, you can think my wife ugly, you can think my mom is all of that. Okay, everybody got an opinion. But if you want to fight over something I said, bring money, play. For money, I'm fighting. But for added, because And I ain't even in denial. Men are emotional. That's why we cry when we lose football games. We cry. That's an emotion, ladies and gentlemen, fellas who are in denial. We're emotional. It's okay. Oh, I'm logical. You're raising your voice. Clearly, you're not that logical because raising your voice ain't changed the argument. See, that's why I got these brothers. Like I say, me and Theo disagree on a lot of stuff. We from two different generations. We see things in two different ways. And what did Mo tell y'all earlier? Knowledge is power. Whether I like what he said or not, whether I'm going to do it or not, it expands my knowledge base. It gives me another tool on my tool belt so that if I decide to make a decision, now I have a basis behind it other than, oh, everybody else was doing it, so shit, I'm going to do it too. That's the dumbest shit going. Everybody was smoking crack. Let me shit, everybody else doing it, might as well do it too. They live. I can't get jiggy with that. So to me, you got to have a voice of reason somewhere. And I ain't saying I'm the voice of reason because sometimes y'all know I'm petty as shit. But sometimes I am the voice of reason. Hell, Theo done been the voice of reason for some shit I wanted to do. He ain't know he said shit. I'm sitting over here with my cigarette lighter and I got my little I'm gonna go burn some shit down. Theo saying some shit. I'm like, man, I can't stand this one. Because now I can't burn down because some shit he said. But remember I told you, my dad said sometimes it's about doing what make you feel good, not what's right or wrong. But when you're a grown man, you understand the difference. Because I'm sure we've all done it. We just didn't know. We didn't put in them parameters like my dad did. But sometimes we do what make us feel good. We know there's a consequence behind it. So I ain't knocking people if y'all want to go out and march. All I'm saying is when y'all come back 2-3 days and y'all complain about nothing happened, y'all are proving my point because you want instant gratification. You're not going to get instant gratification from a one-day march, a one-day boycott. Have a reason. What is the change you want? What is it that you want people to start negotiating with you about? You know, Phil, you got kids, yes?
Yes.
They ever pull that hunger strike on you?
Hunger. I wish they would.
See, man. Say you ain't gonna eat and see what happens.
We just ain't eating. I gotta provide the food. I can't make you eat it.
I don't want that. I want this. Well, shit. Here go a phone. Call and order that shit then. I ain't got no money, but you're gonna be hungry tonight. We don't care. We're not gonna do it. Hell, look at all these people in prison who decide to go on hunger strike. See, oh, I ain't eating until I get a cigarette. No, you're gonna be a 240-pound loser motherfucker waiting on a cigarette because nobody cares. You're gonna just starve yourself. And when you pass out, we're gonna put an IV in you. And like I said, and that's all I'm saying. And when we doing stuff on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want people to respond, block them. If you're not open for dialogue, if all you want is somebody to come on there and agree with you, tag the people who you want to agree with you. And if you're looking at somebody else's page, don't try to jack their page because you got nobody commenting your page. All these people, you should be talking about this. Listen, I'm multi-talented. Like most of my friends, the two on here, we can talk about 12 different things at one time and we can refocus. I hate when people say, oh, they got you distracted. Listen, I have watched football, been on my phone, writing reports, and playing with my kids all the same. I can do a bunch of different stuff. And I'm sure these brothers can too. The difference is I can fight. I ain't saying they can't. I'm just saying I can.
Let me make this last point about DEI before we move on.
We're going to talk, because I want to do DEI and AA at the same time. That's why I keep telling you we're going to get the DEI.
No, I'm talking about as it relates to this protest.
Okay.
There's a boycott. Yeah, okay. There's a very human element to all of this, which is stop fucking with us. And Black people have been at the helm of so many social movements that we don't know how to let white folks destroy each other. And so even and if DEI was not used in the context that it is being used in politics, I don't think it would be as much of an issue. But because Republicans have done such an effective job of making DEI the new N-word, it's really our reaction to us, to that psychological violence that is inflicted on us every time we hear somebody get on our screen say they're just a DEI hire. we have to be. I'm not saying we have to be. We have to define our whole movement by that, but it's really a movement for dignity. You know, we know that we can read all of the stats about who DEI really impacts and benefits and things like that, but in the so-called BIPOC coalition, the B is the most reviled part of that entire coalition, and I don't think that Black people are wrong for essentially saying stop fucking with us. If you're gonna change the policy, but you can't be calling Black folks with jobs that you don't think they qualify for DEI hires and think we're just gonna sit back and keep letting that happen. That's not even how we built. And it is actually a stronger reflection of Democrats that Black folk have to be at the helm of these boycotts and not them. Establishment Democrats should have been taken the reins and said, nope, y'all tried to take woke. Y'all co-opted DEI and made it something pejorative. All of these different all these dog whistles that the GOP has used has the flip side of that, or the inverse of that is there's been no protection from Democrats. And to me, what I don't want this to do is to validate establishment Democrats. I don't want this to be co-opted by Democrats. That's my only issue with Jamal Bryant being at the helm of this, because in my opinion, Jamal Bryant was also a part of the Kamala Harris push when we could have had a legitimate populist movement by way of Bernie Sanders 8 years ago. I mean, we wouldn't have even been in this mess. So I want us to be sensitive to the fact that this is our I am a man movement. Like when the sanitation workers in Memphis, when King was organizing them and they had the signs that said I am a man, pushing back on this use of DEI is our version of I am a man, and you're gonna stop fucking with us.
No doubt. So all right, so check it out. It's time to argue. Or maybe we won't, because y'all might just agree with me. I don't know, but we got to argue something. Let's get an argument on here. All right. So this is what I'm gonna postulate, and then y'all beat it up, or y'all say, "Damn, Mo, I'm with you, my man." So here's what I say. I don't like DEI. I hate DEI. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like DEI. Because if you got to think about it this way, if your whole society if any society you're in needs a crutch like DEI to establish equity and inclusion, what does that say about the system? Right? The system itself should stand alone and provide that equity and inclusion and the diversity by itself. Why the hell you got to have a damn separate program? All right. So that's what I say. And the other thing I want to say, and I'm gonna let y'all go after this. Other thing I'm gonna say is, when we talk about DEI, a lot of people categorize DEI by other aspects other than qualifications, best opportunity. Because for Black folks, DEI provides opportunity. We're not looking for a damn handout. We're not looking for to say, look, find the dumbest person in the Black people gene pool and give them a job. We're not saying that. We're saying, give us the opportunity to show you that we can do just as well or even better than the rest of the candidates or people applying for the job. So those are my two things. Y'all have at it.
I wish I disagreed with, I wish I disagreed. I don't.
Don't play devil's advocate in.
Okay. I mean, well, okay, great. This is a good like law school exercise. So we we need DEI because of all the other groups that are under that tent, and Black people need to like divorce ourselves from this idea that we are the most oppressed group, and that we don't have that there's not this net of systemic isms does not affect other groups of people. So decenter ourselves for a second and look at who it benefits, because if I'm a Black man that is, marketable, I have earning potential, and I'm standing next to a disabled veteran who has PTSD, and they can't hold a job down. I want DEI there because I don't want him to kill me. I don't want. He needs a job so he can stay out of don't break in my house. So I think we need programs like that to pacify white folk more than we need them for Black people, which is why. Go ahead.
No, we going back and forth. So
yeah. Okay. Now I don't believe that, by the way. I don't believe anything I just said.
He's playing devil's advocate.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, it's good. This is good because it's a thought exercise. Just get people thinking. Right. So I'm saying, okay, let's say your approach is the approach somebody took, but here's what I'm saying. I'm saying, look, if we all look at each other as equally skilled, and or equally qualified, maybe not equally skilled, but equally qualified, and then it comes down to who has the better skill set, right? Who can organize better, who can plan better, who's on time. If you take those accolades don't have a I'll say what I want to call it, a nationality attached to them, right? White people are late, Black people are late, Hispanics are late, everybody late, right? And then you got people that are on time. So if you divorce it from that, then all you have left is the qualifications, right? So now I'm showing up because I can tell you, I'm gonna diverge for a minute because I've been in, let me say, in situations where I'm applying for a job and I was the highest qualified candidate, hands down, didn't get the job, right? So there was something else within the
culture.
Yeah. There was something else, or you're not a good fit for us,
right? Exactly.
Well, there was something else going on, but I'm saying, that's why I don't like DEI, because I'm saying, look, base it on put everybody on the same scale, all right? Because Black people we don't need no crutch. I'm gonna tell you right now, because Black people are some of the most amazing people on this earth. So I'm saying we to a point we don't need a crutch. Okay, yeah, y'all got us. Y'all got a lucky write in earlier, in the centuries, right? Y'all hit us with a good punch. We went down, but we came back. You know what I'm saying? So now, look, take me. We've done the work to try to recover the best we can, and we're at a point now where we say, look, we can stand on our own too. We don't need none of your goofy programs. As a matter of fact, your goofy programs are all smokescreen anyway.
Well, now I do genuinely disagree with that point.
Me too.
Good.
Yeah, I disagree with that point because the statistics say that we're going to have a net worth of zero in 20 years. So, but I don't think, and this actually I want to address Russell Haynes' point. I don't think that DEI is the answer for that. I don't think DEI is going to close the wealth gap. But in terms of, do we need? You use the word crutch. I don't know if I would use the word crutches more than I would use the word not crutch, a platform, an apparatus. There we have an apparatus that allows us
a recovery system.
Recovery system, right? Yeah. Let me deal with Haynes with Russell Haynes' point. This is why messaging is so critically important. So I'm in a swivel chair, right? I'm a hiring manager. I normally look this way when I'm about to hire somebody. The only thing DEI is saying is look this way too. That's it. It's literally saying stop looking this way, just this way. Look this way too when you're about to hire. And this way is where the homeless veterans are. This is where the gay people are. This is where the women are. This is where the black folks are. This is where the Hispanics are. That's literally, you can't take advantage of DEI because DEI is not a entitlement program. It's, if in fact,
hold on, Theo.
Okay.
You got to say that again because I don't think people are going to get that point that it's not an entitlement.
It's not an entitlement program.
That right there is the key to the whole thing. You got to explain that because I don't think people are going to get that, man.
So when we say, so if I were to replace DEI and I'm not trying to pick on Russell, I don't know him. I'm not trying to pick on you, brother. But if I were to replace DEI with welfare, then that's actually that's a talking point from an era when Republicans and Democrats were characterizing entitlement programs around this idea of like the welfare queen and all of the tropes that come with that we've all heard about, black folks in poverty, right? Because we are expected to perform poverty. So we used to say stuff like some people need welfare, some people need food stamps, and others take advantage of food stamps. Well, they're actually they are number one, they're buying their tax dollars go into us. Even that statement will be flawed, but it's actually more accurate. But your tax dollars go into entitlement programs. It's like saying some people have car insurance, but some people take advantage of car insurance. Well, if I'm paying my premium every month and I file a claim because I got into an accident, I deserve the coverage. And the tricky thing about capitalism in America is that we have tricked poor people into thinking that they deserve to stay poor. And all of the entitlement, the real entitlement programs, the real welfare queens it's corporate America. It's corporate welfare. We don't ever frame the bailouts when Obama first got in office. We don't ever frame the bailouts as corporate welfare. Those people did not. They got bailouts and then they still gave themselves bonuses. If that ain't the most nigga shit, that is peak level nigga shit. But we'll never call it nigga shit, right? Because because it has a white face on it, and white face just means people. White face don't even mean white; it just means people. But we only talk about what we deserve and what we don't deserve. The closer that we get to black folks benefiting from something, the more we start to hear stuff like some people take advantage, others don't. When the reality is this: every time you go buy a burger, you're paying taxes. Every time you get all those things taken out of your check, you're paying taxes. Those tax dollars go to entitlement programs. So if you lose your job, please go file for unemployment because your tax dollars are paying for it. If you need Medicare, please go apply for Medicare because your tax dollars pay for it. If you need food stamps, by all means, don't skip a meal because your pride won't let you take advantage of the system. You can't take advantage of the system because your dollars are the system. You can't take advantage of it. And you really can't take advantage of DEI because DEI is actually white people saying, pick this person out of the pool of candidates. We white people have decided that this maybe black person, maybe woman, maybe Hispanic, maybe indigenous person is qualified for this. It's not black folks, like to your point, Mo. It's not black folks saying, "Oh, please help me." Half of the time, we don't even be knowing. I had a job a couple of years ago, and I got a mid-management position. Everybody at the top was white, right? And I was noticing all of these black folks were coming in with me. But when I was looking at some of their old company, like the old company profile, they look totally different. The demo of the organization would look totally different. And it was obvious to me And actually, what it was obvious to me, and then it was later confirmed that all these black folks that came in with me, that was strategic. Now, would I call myself a DEI hire in that instance? Probably. But is it because I wasn't qualified for the job? No. White people decide. The white people at that job decided that I was qualified for the job.
So you were a metric. They used you as a metric.
Yes. Absolutely. And guess what? I don't give a damn as long as the checks keep clearing.
I want you to say things.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care what made you decide I'm gonna get paid. I don't care what made you reach that conclusion. You know, especially living in Atlanta. I think living in Atlanta, growing up in Atlanta and doing all of my professional career in Atlanta, you don't encounter the kind of like scathing types of racism that you do in other parts of the country, because Atlanta is unique in terms of it's black folks running stuff in ways that it's not apparent in other cities. So you think you qualified, you already think you qualified. You see so many qualified black folks, you know, doing stuff. It doesn't even enter your mind that maybe this one time you might have been like the token Negro, because guess what? You with a whole bunch of other folks that look just like you. You can't be. It's very hard to be a token Negro in Atlanta because all the Negroes are running it. So I just and I have a skewed view of that, which is why I used to say we don't need affirmative action. This is a long time ago. I used to say we don't need affirmative action. I don't want to be considered But my belief on that changed when I realized the multi-generational impact of those policies not being there. So my grandparents not having an affirmative action program literally had an impact on their ability to buy homes, on their ability to get capital for their businesses, all of the real like financial implications that were in play for generations past has an impact on their ability to pass down wealth. So I'm for anything that positions us to create wealth. And even though I said earlier, black capitalism, no matter what color it is, won't save us, there's also this very like human element of it that's like, no, but when granddaddy dies, I still like, we don't want to just be doing fish fries either. We don't want to just be passing down like coats and hangers. We want something that's gonna, help us to continue to build wealth for the family.
Yeah. So man, go ahead, DVP. You have something?
Yeah, because I see Theo just ain't gonna let me get there. He's so stubborn. When we start talking, and I'm posting some comments now because somebody posted on another page. Kim, who has done some stuff with the federal government, is saying that DEI ain't what we keep thinking it is, and we fighting for the wrong things. But as long as a company has 51% of the women and they can be all white, they can qualify for contracts. That's DEI as well. And we're fighting for something that in reality ain't going to affect most of us. Because, I said it before with the big voting thing. A lot of federal stuff don't affect what we're doing, but somebody will tell us this. And this is why I keep going back to, we have to have a plan. Just doing stuff for people off the jump who either give us misinformation or misguided, or they just trying to prove another point that they can get people to follow them blindly. Because that's always my greatest fear, is that people are getting us to follow them blindly to prove a point that benefits only them. And we keep falling into that trap. It wasn't that, because somebody asked me why I didn't like BLM. I said, it ain't that I don't like BLM. I don't like BLM, the national chapter. All the smaller chapters, I believe most of them were legit. But the core group, once I saw what they were doing with some of the money, I knew that, but they got us for following them, and the biggest crook, she got a lot of stuff because she was having people do stuff that wasn't benefiting them. It was benefiting her. And that's my reason for not wanting to just do something. If the something is not going to be beneficial, and I don't want to sound crass or entitled, I'm well off right now. I'm retired. I got 3 great paying side gigs. Whatever happened, it's really not going to affect me.
Right.
They can go up on I refinanced my property at the right time. I'm at less than 2% on my mortgage. I paid my interest is less than 2 because I got it at the right time. There's nothing they can ever do to make me refinance this house. Ever, never. Until it's paid off, and I'm gonna be able to do it a whole lot quicker now too. But this came because of decisions I made as I'm talking to people like Mo and Theo. I'm paying attention to the market. I got a friend in finance when he said, "Hey, D, I get you at 1.8." I said, "1.8 what?" When he said that, bro, you can't give me this paperwork quick enough. And
question.
And what I learned in that whole process was that even to get that though, I had to pay off some of my credit because that was one of the requirements. So I had to come off, but fortunately I had cash saved up. So now these credit cards that they wanted me to pay off, instead of doing them, I can pay them off now. I didn't want to, but
hey, come see me, man. If I catch you paying credit cards off, man,
I couldn't. My debt could only be so much to get to 1.8. So I had to.
I got you. Okay, I got you.
So yeah, I'm paying these off now. But because I got the money, I can make that happen. But again, that came from my planning and preparing for a rainy day. So when that rainy day came and I saw that great umbrella, I could jump into some stuff. So when we're doing some of these things and we don't know, and like I said, that's why I just don't promote. I will never promote just doing something to be doing something, because if there's no benefit, and it ain't got to be to me now, it's got to be to the other people, because I can survive. When COVID hit, I quit all my jobs because I was already living off of my retirement check, which is gonna never stop. I could live with that, but other people can't do the same thing. So when you ask them to give up something, they don't have the same options all the time, and that's why I see sometimes people take advantage of us because they're so, this benefits you. This, and tell me how. Don't just tell me it's gonna benefit me. I need the details. I need the see, we got to all stick together. Why are we sticking together? Again, who are we helping? Who are we helping? If we're only helping, if it's only gonna make me more money, then it's not helping. But I get it. Most of us are into me. What is it gonna do for me? And I believe I came from the hood. If my neighbors don't come up good, you know what's gonna happen? I mean, they're gonna try to rob me. So me getting more stuff just makes me more of a victim. It makes me more prey. I need for everybody else around me to get something so they'll be content and happy and quit looking at my stuff. And I think sometimes when people keep saying this, they miss that big picture. And like I said, that's all I ever look at. That's why, like I said, and Theo did a good job explaining why he do it. And it's still, like I said, I get it. I understand I understood what other people were saying. But when it's time to engage in the conversation, if all you got is sarcasm and name calling, you're never gonna get anybody. And I'm speaking for the disenfranchised because ain't none of it gonna bother me. So this is what we have to stop doing, and we attack each other for asking questions, because at one point you want me to jump off the bridge with you because you see smoke. But the smoke is actually coming from the water below us because it's hot outside. It ain't no fire, so why are we jumping? See,
so let me push back on you.
Don't want to do what everybody say. Go ahead.
Let me push back on you. You know you be saying incendiary shit in your post sometime, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's deliberate, man. You don't know him too well.
He knows.
Yeah.
So I get
that passion to come out. I want that passion.
He 50 Cent protege.
I can't believe
exactly.
I was because I almost tagged. I said, "Man, Theo, he playing games with me. He gonna make me tag him." Go ahead.
No, so Russell actually clarified his stance, and I don't have the power to tag, but yeah, I think that's a good point. And here's the thing, even with that, because he says DEI is not only DEI is for all, not only blacks. That's why some people taking advantage. I don't think DEI actually isn't for all. But again, because DEI is used as a pejorative term towards black folk, we all not just we black folks, but just like America, we just kind of say anything for black folks. Like the poor white people are they have been the biggest hindrance to progress for everybody. Because all you got to do is tell poor white folks that some niggas gonna get some shit. And even if even if they're still, even if it's not gonna have any impact on their lives, or even if it's going to benefit them more than black folks, all you got to do is just tell them this niggas about to get some shit. And I think that's kind of that's why I say black folks have to learn when to stay out of white folks' business. This is white folks' business to me. DEI is white people business. If the majority of the DEI directors were not white women, then I could say this is black. Oh no, if they weren't white women and they were black people, then I could say this is black folks' business. But I don't think that DEI is black folks' business. I don't even think affirmative action is black folks' business. I just think that was a.
Hold on real quick. As you said, I'm being incendiary. Go on and say the other thing too. Welfare wasn't for black people, but you niggas welfare was for white women whose husbands in the military. Found out we got, and we keep harping on that like it was never meant for black people.
It was never meant for
never. Most of these programs, as he's saying, they are DEI. It was inclusive of white women. It wasn't, but and I hate to say this, but somebody white told us how we could get in, and then we came in. And the other ones didn't like it because some white people, they actually kind of liked us, and they knew that we were being disenfranchised, and they tried to throw us something. But none of these programs were made for us, other than maybe affirmative action, maybe. And I saw people posting, and this was the agitating point when I wasn't being incendiary. I saw some blacks who were my age saying that they didn't get ahead because of affirmative action. And I said, how delusional are you? Because at my age, there were very few things we could do until they made them start hiring us. There were very few police departments, very few managers that looked like us. And if you look at the government now, right now, Trump is not looking for qualifications. He's looking for loyalty. His loyalty comes in the form of people that look exactly like him. That is how America was made. So if they were never forced to hire us, we can think what we want to, and we can pray and believe all we want to. We would never be where we are, most of us, because we were never included in anything that they did. Anything. Right. That was why, whether I like him or not, I stood up for Jay-Z. He convinced 30 white people to let him control the biggest event that they got, and he bringing black people. And y'all hating on him, talking about this. I don't care what his motivation is. He bringing in black people. He ain't bringing in the top white artists. He's bringing in black people. But y'all mad at him. But then you get mad at me. But you're not supporting him. But the last 3 Super Bowls he's been a part of, them Super Bowls have looked exactly like us. Whether I agree with his choices or not, they were representative of us. But y'all found a reason to hate him. Oh, he's sucking up. He's trying to get a team. He's trying to be a black owner. Because guess what? If we had the opportunity, I guarantee that's what we'd be doing too. Because that means you're in the billionaires club. They don't let us in. He get to sit with them. He get to eat at their table. Well, he bringing us in. He bringing us in. And whenever I go back to number 7, who was the biggest scam, he was the fucking Pied Piper. Number 7 got y'all all in his hype, but then he told y'all he wanted to go back to the plantation. He partnered with Nike, who was officially the enemy,
both sides,
and made y'all buy his posters and jerseys from Nike, who was the enemy. Had y'all boycotting the plantation while he was steady trying to get a job with them, and y'all never saw that. And it's like, see, that's that shit. He's saying something, but look at what he's doing. He's telling y'all he don't care nothing about y'all. He's telling y'all, when he was a starting quarterback, he didn't care nothing about black people. He only cared once he lost his starting gig. And he got y'all to go out there and show out for him. Oh, if they don't let him play, I ain't gonna watch it. But he's still trying to get in. So when he get a job, if he get back in, I'm gonna watch it. So the plantation is okay when. When is you either hate the plantation or you don't. You can't say, if the plantation picked my favorite slave, I'm gonna support them again. That's how stupid we sound, and that's why I think people don't take us serious, because you really finna, Theo made me do this. You really finna advocate for a millionaire to get more millions? That what you really? Is that what we really bought? Let
me push back on it a little bit.
Go on the push.
No, Mo had a point.
Just quick comment. Then you can go, Theo.
Okay.
Just quick comment. So, DVP mentioned number 7, and I just want to say, there's a couple other people that fit that category as well, and that is that was Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson. Them two right there did the exact same thing. They became Hollywood sweethearts and loved by I'm gonna say everybody. And then look where they ended up. Look how they ended up, right? They ended up getting dealt. I'm gonna just call it dealt with. They ended up getting dealt with by the system. Then all of a sudden they came back and it's like, oh, I'm black now. They did the exact same thing, both of them.
Right.
They did the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's very true.
Go ahead, Theo.
So
you got 30 minutes.
Now we could say, I don't disagree. I don't get a millionaire business either. I'm just I don't get a millionaire's business. I don't get a white folks business.
And he was both.
Unless I become a white millionaire, I'm not getting.
Number 7 was both, y'all. He was both. He was white and a millionaire. Just had afro.
But I will say this: if we're looking at it from a socialist lens, he's labor. Like the guys on the field, that's the labor. Like they are the equivalent of the person who stands on the outside of McDonald's with those little signs, or just a business with those little signs that they flipping them to get you to go in. Like their product. Like there's a reason that the two majority black sports are the only 2 sports where we refer to the players as product, and they happen to also be the majority black sports, right? So labor to labor, like proletariat to proletariat, that's where I do identify with Colin Kaepernick. But to your point, he wanted to be the body and the eulogist at his own funeral. Going back to the place. I don't believe in if you say you don't want me, my pride and my ego will not let me go back to the place where I was not wanted. So I didn't understand that, but I do understand from a proletariat to proletariat. If I were to strip him of the salary and look at what he represents in their labor model, he's at the bottom of the totem pole.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What's a proletariat first? You don't keep using this word. I ain't got time to look it up. You used it 3 times and I ain't know what it meant damn time.
Just the working class people, just the worker, like the okay. labor. Okay. He's labor. He's labor.
All right. Don't be talking big talk. I'm old. Don't be making me look up words during the show. Then
it might be some socialists in the comment section. I'm political science, man. This is just whatever. But
let me throw a comment. Hold on, Theo. Let me just throw a real quick comment. I think part of the answer to kind of, you're not even asking the question, you're just kind of pontificating, but part of the answer is when you tell somebody who's been a professional player that they're not good enough, that's enough reason to go back. I'm just giving you that one. You say you didn't know why he's going back.
Okay.
Because they told him you ain't good enough anymore.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And now, if he said that, if he said that, I get it. If he actually did press,
no, DVP said no. Let's see what DVP got.
Denver wanted him. He wanted more money. He was.
Well, that's true.
He was the 31st ranked quarterback, but he wanted to be paid like he was top 10. Remember, he lost the Super Bowl with one of the best defenses ever. He was a scrub. He just had a cannon arm. He was a scrub. Look at his stats.
I looked at his stats. He was not a scrub.
And look at him.
He was 30 and 19. He was 30 and 19. No scrub. No.
And he had a top-ranked defense. There was no games that he took over. You can't point to nothing that he did. He had one run. You saw him in the Super Bowl. What did Sherman tell him? Don't throw that ball over here. He was a scrub. But anyway, and Denver wanted him. He said he didn't want to go because they didn't want to give him enough money. That's what he said. And he had already lost his job then. If you can lose your job to Blaine Gabbert, you are a scrub. You could be that Blaine Gabbert. But anyway. But he was raised by white people. He was white at UNLV. He wasn't black until he lost his job.
He plays Kappa though. He was a Kappa. I mean,
he was a who?
He was a Kappa.
What I mean?
He plays Kappa. It's a black Greek. You know,
at UNLV.
It's a PWI. I mean, he plays at a PWI, but he still plays Kappa. And what I'm saying is, if he were just like you're describing him like he's an Oreo, and I don't subscribe to that about Colin Kaepernick. Now, was he vocal about black issues? I don't know. I'm going to lean no, but I don't think he was just one of those like, you know, young Republican black dudes that was on campus trying to like, you know, rail against affirmative action either.
Let me say this, then we're gonna move to somebody important. Did y'all notice his teammates never stood behind him? Did y'all notice that they stood behind Ed Reed, but they didn't stand behind Kaepernick? You ever wonder why?
I never thought about that.
Your teammates who see that with you, they weren't like, they know you. We're sitting when your family won't let you back in the house. Why am I thinking you're such a good dude? Why am I thinking this? But anyway, we're gonna talk about something. We're gonna get to the progressions. And we ain't got but 30 minutes left. 24 extra before I get in trouble. So we're gonna touch on this because we got to start keeping track so we can do part 2s and 3s. DEI versus AA. And I started because I saw some Retrumplicans who wanted to base their status on their education and all this. We didn't get it. I didn't get my job because I got my job because I was the best one. Dude, that has never been America's way. And it won't be America's way. As Theo has hinted, every now and then, it does happen. But even with us, we don't always pick the best candidate. We pick the one we like still. Personal, whether it's your own personal business, whether it's you part of a big business. We've lost things. I know me and Theo work for the government. I think, did you work for the government too at one point, Mo? But he was in corporate America. We knew we were overqualified for certain jobs and didn't get them. We didn't get them. And sometimes it was because we were a little bit too dark. Or our accent wasn't the Queen's English enough. So to think that AA didn't get some of us where we are, you're delusional, player, because we weren't born like that. You know, we didn't have the I'm trying to think. What black person was born with a silver spoon? Anybody got who was just born?
I would say second generation hip hop moguls kids. But like the fact that we know all the black billionaires that exist and most of them are in entertainment, that goes to show how wide the gap actually is, because most billionaires, you don't even know who they are. So I think I think us seeing like Diddy's kids, or us seeing Russell Simmons kids, or the ones, because hip hop produced the most millionaires, and then it produced some moguls. So that's what we're seeing. That's how we're kind of seeing the.
Did hip hop pass NFL? I thought the NFL did the most millionaires, black millionaires.
I don't know about. I don't know the studies on that.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. Yeah.
I mean, you still on point, but yeah, we can't deny what AA did, and there were times when it probably should have been disintegrated, but I think if we're being honest, we also know people who were above us who hated us, and if we'd have left it up totally to black people, affirmative action would have been dead a long time ago, because some wanted to be the only. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is how smart I am. Some of them were Sambos in disguise. They didn't want nobody messing up a thing that they done worked hard for and shine shoes for master to get, for you to come up here and be all attitudinal and trying to change the system. Because some of us got mentored by some good black people who's like, hey, I want you to be able to do this, and they made us good for the job. But none of that would have happened without affirmative action. So I hate when people think, oh, it was the worst thing to happen. Right. It wasn't the worst thing to happen. To me, one of the worst things that ever happened to black people is us getting money and leaving the projects, because we lost solidarity. We became individuals when we started leaving the project. We stopped doing things together. We learned to play in the house. We got games that let us not go outside. Whereas before in the projects, we all went outside. Boys is playing Jackson hula hooping because if everybody at home, you got to do what everybody was doing. We got girls who playing football because they want to play too. Once we got a little money and we could move out into our own little property, we lost a lot of that closeness. We lost a lot of that camaraderie that we were. It was in our DNA because we were all close together. We were all impacted. We all looked out for everybody. Theo wasn't gonna go hungry as long as my mama had enough sandwiches for us. Theo wasn't gonna go hungry if his mama worked late. None of that was gonna ever happen. Now, we so far apart now. Theo can go hungry and nobody will know because he's in a nice neighborhood and don't nobody know they living from paycheck to paycheck. That to me, that hurt us, but not affirmative action. We needed it. We didn't need it for a billion years, but we needed it. And I think some aspects still should be. We probably still need some aspects of it.
I think we need every policy that can remotely benefit Black folks for as long as we had slavery. That's when I will reconsider it, because we will this. The same way we don't ever have a discussion. This is super random thoughts. We never have a discussion around the psychological effect that COVID had on Americans. We don't ever address the psychological effect that slavery had on Black folks. And I'm not talking about like we still mentally enslaved. I'm talking about dig into the data and see how profoundly impacted we have been by slavery and how those practices were passed down. So we can't like divorce ourselves from that experience. So for me, I am for the put an expiration date on every policy after 200 and whatever the number of years worth of actual chattel slavery. And then I want you to tack on for just for shits and giggles the 80 years of Jim Crow. Then we can possibly like come revisit whether or not we need to, retract some of those policies or tamp down on some of those policies. And we've never had a policy that exclusively benefits Black folk anywhere. No policy ever, never, never has been exclusively for Black folks. The only time we talk about these policies in terms of their exclusivity to Black folks is when we're trying to undo them. And because Black folks are so dope, to Mo's point, and to your point, Black folks are so resilient, and Black folks make looking broke so cool. We have not really given ourselves a chance to see the breadth and the scope of what is possible for us with the same kind of apparatuses that were provided to European settlers. So that's my. I know it's racism is like air, right? You can't see air. You just know when it's funky. You know when it smells good. You know when it's blowing, but you can't ever see air. So when we're moving around in our everyday lives and we're putting in job applications and we're going to school and getting a certificate, so we're doing all these things to place us in better positions. We don't know how we were really affected by racism. That's why most people don't think that racism is racism until they see a burning cross or somebody says the N-word or something just like blatant and egregious. But racism is air. That's why you can look at almost every American practice or every American tradition, and as soon as you scrape the surface just off just a little bit, it's some racist shit right underneath it. It's some anti-Black racist shit right underneath it. And our as humans, we are designed to put our hand to the plow and to be proud of the work that we do, be able to reflect on the institutions that we build and the frameworks that we have. We want to be proud of that, and we don't want anybody to be able to take credit for that. But that's not what affirmative action is. Not a credit from Black folks. Is actually an indictment, to Mo's point. It's an indictment of white people. The same way Black first. I think we need to get rid of Black first. I'm so tired of Black first. I don't know what. It blows me. I'm like, we need to stop making white people feel good about hiring us first, because black first it never meant it was the first black qualified black person. So I have a different spin on it, but I do understand I get the sentiment though.
And you know what? And you said, so I'm gonna bring it current. I think the crack epidemic had far greater harm on us than we want to admit, because it separated us. It separated a lot of us from our parents. And when we lost parenting, we lost our way. And that's something that I talked to a couple people about. And when they brought it up to me, I was like, damn, when I think about it, and we talking about the mid 80s, early 90s, that crack epidemic did something to all these neighborhoods.
Yep.
That's when you had parents giving up, but that's when you lost a lot of parents parenting. A lot of us became survivors. And I don't think we've healed from that. And I think that's why there's still some undercover black hatred amongst us, because a lot of us are battle scarred from that whole thing that nobody ever wants to bring up. We never talk about the crack epidemic and what it did to us as a group of people.
And how we were infantilized, in particular the men. So like every neighborhood got a crackhead in it, and they're kind of like the court jester.
Right.
Like that's a whole ass man though. Like I was literally, it's funny you said that, because I was reflecting on my own family couple days ago. I was thinking about my biological father, my uncles, and the two of my uncles. All of them at one point dealt with some type of addiction, some type of drug addiction. I don't know how Scottsdale, Georgia, got on the radar of whoever was responsible for smuggling cocaine into from doing the Iran Contra, war and all that stuff. I don't know how it got to Scottsdale, Georgia. All I know is that 3 men who are good men, one of them passed away, but they're good men. If you take drugs out the scenario, it's a different trajectory for my bloodline. And when you think about how many men were turned into infants, and how many of those infants had to rebuild themselves, who wouldn't have naturally had to do that, because how they were raised was different from the environment that drugs created when they got into the real world. There is no price tag you can put on it. And that's why I say all the policies, give us all the policies, because we haven't even dealt with how the men were turned into babies. That's why it's so easy for millennials, my generation on down, to dismiss the advice of Gen X and boomers, because a lot of us saw our uncles. They were our uncles at one point. They were like our uncles, legit, the pillar of the family. And then we eventually saw them succumb to drugs, or they could have been our aunts. And some of them were our parents. Some of them were our grandparents. But we saw what was supposed to be a natural order, which was the elders run our families and our community. We saw the elders be reduced to these infants. These they were worse than infants actually. And then we, in order to cope with the pain of seeing that, we turned them into jokes. Yeah. But it wasn't funny.
They became
it
parasites.
Wasn't funny. And exactly. And so we in a twisted sort of way, or in a way to like survive that or to cope with that, we've dismissed the voices of the elders. And now we just listen to ourselves. I don't talk to nobody that's my age or younger about shit unless I'm just like venting, because I know we don't know shit. And I'm 42, but I know we don't know shit, because that's not the natural order of things. I'm supposed to talk to my dad and my granddad. Go ahead.
Yeah, what you're saying that's a fact. And the thing is, think about it this way, because we have, the book, let me call it the bookkeepers of history. They're only going to let you know so much, right? The bookkeepers of history are only going to let you know so much. Who's supposed to be telling us those stories are our own people. Yep. But a lot of them we lost in the struggle. Yep. Right. So now you want to know, okay, what happened? How did the struggle happen? They're gone.
Yep.
They can't tell you. right?
Yep.
So, and then, I like to relate it back to, what they used to do in Africa, where where they would get in, they would get together and do storytelling, right? I think that was a information share. That was Google. That was
Yes.
Africa
Absolutely.
Google. That's
No,
Africa Google.
really.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
So that was the share right there. So nowadays we don't have that. I mean, we can go to the internet, but it's not the same thing.
No.
I want to talk to a
You care about me.
that was there. Right?
Yes.
So what happened when, because I saw a program where one of Tuskegee Airmen was talking. He got the injection and the whole nine. He survived, and he told a story. It was amazing. And I'm just like, if you could take that, if you take what I'm witnessing right here and expand it to a larger idea, that would be amazing. That would
absolutely.
Be amazing.
And to that point, there's this mini period between the end of the modern civil rights movement and the crack epidemic, which is just the survivors of the civil rights movement. Like, there's so many civil rights leaders who never told their kids that they were civil rights leaders. Like, there was a whole documentary on like the children of like they didn't, a lot of their children didn't know about what they did, the work that they did, so they got in school. And so the trauma of surviving that era and seeing so many people pass away, like, Black people have this in common, if nothing else. My grandfather could tell me about being a little boy when Emmett Till happened. My dad could tell me about Rodney King. I can tell my sons about Trayvon Martin. And my son, my oldest son, my son will be able to have some kind of remembrance around whatever is bound to happen or whatever has happened within the beginning of his consciousness to his sons. We have passed down trauma like we passed down recipes, and we're not even trying to measure that because it's too much to process.
Yeah.
But that's why I say we gotta be more forgiving toward each other than we are to anybody else, because we deserve more forgiveness than anybody, more grace than anybody else does.
So we gotta acknowledge it. We don't.
So DVP, let me say this before I forget, because this I'm gonna explain. I want to talk about what you just said. We got to acknowledge it, because I don't see anywhere where, so why don't we have like I'm gonna make it up, civil rights museum in every state, right? Or a Black history. And when I want to say history, because I don't want to just talk about civil rights. I want to talk about the history of Black people,
right?
In different states, right? We don't have that. So it's like that stuff gets lost. You wake up, you go down any street in America, you can see the American flag, right? That's white history. I call that white history.
Yes.
Because if you link that flag back to history, you're gonna learn about white folks and how it came to fruition, how it came about, what it stands for, etc. Right? What is our symbol? What's the? And I'm not talking about African stuff. I'm talking about
African American.
Yeah, African American. What's the Black people? What's the symbolism for Black people in America? See, right now, all we got is that damn flag. I'm not about the flag. I gotta tell you.
But we got Kwanzaa. We won't adopt it because it means we have to give up white socialist ways. Kwanzaa is here. It requires us to do something that goes beyond just buying gifts, because now you got to put in thought. Because when you're doing Kwanzaa, each day you're training, you're becoming close with your community. Do we really want to put forth that effort? And most of us are lazy. When I first heard about Kwanzaa, I had to think about it, because I remember the joys and disappointments of Christmas. But then when you start thinking about the whole thing, and to me, you can't, in my world, be pro-Black and keep promoting all of these crazy holidays that have no real meaning. So why don't we go to these? It's easy, it's free, it's actually cheaper. But it requires you coming together. It requires you doing things. You got to do some reading. And We have no heritage. We have no culture. We have no past. We were more than slaves, but that's how they talk about. I'm willing to, I don't know what you guys did. When Black History came, I only had, in the 12 years I went through fucking school, I only had 2 white teachers who told me, don't touch Martin Luther King, don't touch find somebody different. All the Black teachers let you, I mean, hey, King is who he was, but damn, he wasn't the only one. Coretta Scott was not on, hey, going to school. How come we never learned about, what's the lady name who came before Rosa Parks?
Claudette. Yeah.
Why did we never learn about her?
Right.
It ain't like she just popped up. Why didn't we learn about what was the guy whose place Martin took? Shit, I can't remember nobody's name now.
Who place Martin took?
Yeah, the one who was supposed to be who was supposed to do it, but he was gay, so they didn't pick him.
Bayard Rustin.
Why didn't we learn about him?
Right.
Because I got this from white people because we don't even know our history, so we'll settle for what anybody tell us, and it's like, why?
So go ahead.
The trauma is so deep that we sometimes I think we're scared of what we're gonna find.
Yeah, it do be too much so sometimes. I mean, I watched 12 Years a Slave. That's the last Black movie I watched was 12 Years a Slave. That should be too much, man. I never watched the George Floyd video. I got it. I'm like, I get it. Got it good. America's an evil country. It's imperialist, and it is evil to its rotten to its core. I don't need this. But I understand why the stories are being told over and over again, the same way that the Jewish Holocaust stories are told over and over again. So I understand the purpose of it, but because we are continuing to relive it. See, Jews don't have to. I don't go there. We have to continue to relive these experiences in our everyday lives. That it hurt. It's just like your own family. It's like if you grew. The families that I have seen that have the most pride in their lineage tend to be the ones that have had the most financial success, right? Like you ain't really trying to see what was underneath, all of what created all the trauma, like what was really happening at Paw Paw House that created all of this madness that was passed down to the cousins and all that stuff. But if Paw Paw had seven properties and he passed them all down to his kids, and then those kids, took out, I don't know, lines of took out the equity line. What are you doing? I mean, and they started the business. We're gonna tell that story until that story cannot be told no more. But it's hard to revisit trauma that you are either not removed from or just fresh out of, and we can't help that because we didn't produce the trauma.
Growth is hard.
That's true.
And listen, I need you to start because actually both of y'all, because I need for y'all to know how to do this. I'm being in California next week, so I need for y'all to know how to start the show up because I couldn't get there in time. So I'm gonna make sure Roy got y'all down where y'all can put it up there because we got to keep continuing these conversations as much as we don't like them sometimes. And and Mo, you weren't here, but Theo, me and you had a deep conversation. We had a deep show, and as much as we want to avoid doing that again, we got to do it because the things that hurt us are the things that make us grow. Once we can start accepting pain and dealing with it, we can help other people. It's just that we don't want to do it ourselves. We want somebody else to do it because I know I would prefer somebody else to do it. The first time I had to talk about depression, I really wish somebody else would have did. I could have went the rest of my life and not done it. But with the people who've reached out to me, I don't regret it. I still don't want to do it again, but I know I still need to because there's still more people out there, and it sucks. I need one of y'all to get depressed so y'all can talk about it. I don't want to tell my story no more. So I'm gonna just bam. So y'all can do y'all thing. But we have to. We can't keep glossing over certain things. Anytime we win, whether we like it or not, there are gonna be losses, and I think that's what people are afraid of. How can we win and not have any losses? It ain't gonna happen. There hasn't been a time when we made progression and we didn't lose something or someone valuable. But it's part of the game, and we got to accept that. Joe had said something one of the other shows. Anytime we've lost the right, we've never gotten it back. And I hear what people say about reparations, and I hear you. But until we get the right to vote, they're going to keep pushing us out the system.
Right.
They're gonna keep pushing, so we can keep one reparation. They're gonna give it to us, and then they're gonna take away our right to vote, so they can take it all back. And that's what we get so caught up. To me, that's a distraction. Let's get the right to vote. Let's make that where they ain't got to keep renewing it every 40 years or however long it is. That's crazy that legally we cannot vote on I just know this is my God-given right now, because it's not. I forgot when it's up for voting, but it ain't. It ain't. Nobody did nothing about it. And we don't even talk about it because, talk about this instead. Well, shit. So, but anyway, it's 8 o'clock. I'm finna get in trouble. Mo, give me a parting shot for me, brother. I know we're supposed to talk about stocks, but give me a parting shot.
I'm gonna do that right now. So, real quick. You guys know, most of you guys know that we got some presidential negotiations going on, and he's doing sanctions and all kind of things overseas, local and everything. So what the impact of that, like I told you before, the stock market is a metric of what goes on in the world. The impact of that is that all stocks right now are low. Go look. If you don't believe me, go look at the Dow Jones, go look at the stock market. You'll see everything is depressed right now because of these presidential negotiations and the sanctions that are being put on, overseas and local. So the stock market's down across the board. Don't panic. It's gonna come back. If you have stock, don't panic and go ahead and hit the sell button. Sell. Relax. It's gonna come back as soon as they get out of this storm. So this is part of understanding how the stock market works. That's my shot. Next, on to you, Theo.
Don't ever be more forgiving of someone outside of your relationship, household, family, or community than you are of your relationship, household, family, and community.
Fire.
See, that sound like a whole show right there.
Fire. It is. That is.
And I'm gonna say this, and it wasn't easy for me to figure out. It's okay to be selfish. If you don't ever put yourself first, nobody else will ever put you first either. At some point, you have got to put your wellness, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, you got to put you first. Everybody keep wanting to do for everybody else, and just realize when they're prioritizing, niggas say, well, shit, he always put himself last. We might as well put him last too. So with that being said, I'm gonna have Roy reach out to y'all so that y'all can do this, because I know next week I'll be in California, but then after that I'll be back for 3 weeks, I think. So I need for y'all to do y'all thing. So more that means probably you might need a guest, because Theo like to come on at 6:30, 6:45 ish.
Listen, man, I be having stuff to do on Wednesdays.
Listen, I'm not talking to you. But we'll chop it up in the chat. I want to thank y'all for coming on, and we're gonna keep doing this because I see we picking up steam again. I'm gonna go ahead and get a number so we can start doing call-ins. But we got to keep bringing some heat, and all these conversations ain't gonna be easy. We're gonna get back into the uncomfortable conversations, because that's the only way we're gonna have growth. Just simply going along to get along. That ain't got us nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got nothing against you Christians, but praying for everything that has gotten us nowhere. Action is the only thing that's gonna do it, and we gotta do responsible actions, and we gotta have a goal, not just to do it. Don't bring a water to my burning house. I'm just telling you now, I'm gonna fight you. All right, so, y'all know what it is. All right, till next week, peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.